Gemsy. How are you?
Hi, Lucy. I am magnificent.
Yes, you are magnificent. I mean, look at your setup. You're like trumping me right now. Well, if we could use another name, but Trump. But you've got your beautiful coral peony. And then is that a painting in the background?
Yeah, it's a really cool painting that's in my flat. My housemate loves a bit of art, yeah.
Stunning, stunning,
Mm.
stunning, stunning. I'm so excited, Gemsy, to get into your world today. I still remember, first of all, would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Gemma, or Gemsy. I like to go by Gemsy because I'm kind of playful. I live in the UK. I'm originally from Wales. I'm currently residing in London temporarily. And yeah, I'm doing a PhD and I'm a trainee cardiologist. Although I've just decided to leave that and pursue my dream and my purpose. It's all
Yes.
very exciting.
Yes, rock star. And how old are you, Gems?
Oh, I just turned 37 last week.
Perfect time to be in a soulmate relationship. Love it. So
Mm.
let's dive straight back. That was quite an intro, by the way. Like, she's just doing a PhD. Now she's living on purpose. I love it. I love you just rolling off the tongue. Let's go back to, if you guys can hear, that's my little baby girl who might be wanting me to open the milk bar. So let's just see how we go. Let's go back to the day that we first spoke. Let's go back to that moment. Just go back to, where were you in your life? What had you get on that call? I know it probably feels like a galaxy away right now, but just for our beautiful women who are watching right now, if you could just drop back into that space, Gemsy, and really let yourself connect with where you were and just speak from that place. What wasn't working? What did your life feel like? And how did you even feel about yourself?
I was actually sat in this chair when we had the first call. I was completely shut down. Completely shut down. I think I've reached absolute rock bottom in my life. I didn't really know why I was doing what I was doing anymore.
I can feel this.
It was awful. All the things that I wanted, to like be a mother, to have a soulmate relationship, all these things that I'd dreamt of and wanted for myself felt like they were just slipping away. And as time went by, it seemed to be getting further and further away. My last relationship got further and further away. Relationships were like getting shorter and shorter. I didn't understand why. I felt like I just felt awful. For the first time ever, I reached out to my sister and said, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like it's just, I just didn't know where to continue, what to do next.
Yeah.
I was doing a PhD, on paper, I was like this fucking like rock star with my career, but none of any of the things that I really wanted. I felt just really, really sad.
Yeah, I can actually, your energy and your tone of voice and everything, it takes me right back to our call. And the interesting thing, girls, about this, it's giving like chills because Gemma's not in this place anymore. But I'm literally like viscerally operating as you're sharing that, because I remember where you were, and like, it's literally making me emotional. It was a cry for help. And interestingly, I didn't even get past 20 minutes when we spoke because Gemsy was so shut down for the fear of actually doing something that was going to bring her joy, for being happy. That was scary for you, right? So basically, long story short, I got her off the call and just said, you're not ready yet, because she was just holding back a lot. And then what happened?
A lot is an understatement.
A lot is and I just thought, oh, she's not ready, and I sort of blessed her and said, I thought hopefully she'll come back when she's ready. Well, that's not what happened. You share what happened. You got off that call, and then?
I got off the call and I felt so rejected and so like I had like let myself down in every single way.
Yes.
And I, it wasn't even like a conscious process.
Yeah.
I just started spewing all of this stuff that was just my soul, I guess, talking and saying, fuck no, Gemma, what are you doing? This is your chance. This is what you've needed. Because I'd thought about getting like coaching and things. I'd looked into it very vaguely and I was sort of feeling into it. And then of course this just popped up, as it would. And
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? This is what you need. This is everything that you need. And just like this wave of like conviction and determination, and like, you're not going to let yourself lose out on this opportunity, because you're literally letting go of everything you want. It's time to like fucking, sorry for swearing, I'm a bit of a swearer. It's like time to step into who you are, and you do deserve those things. And just something inside me that was really deep inside just came out. I don't know, I just like literally started like typing, like writing ferociously, and then I typed it all out, and I was like, can I really do this? What the hell is she going to think of me? Like, so much think, because I'm a like master overthinker in my old story, and there was just so much overthinking. I was like, oh, I don't know. And I thought, yes, okay, do it. So I sent this message to you, privately DM'd you, and then I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I just waited, and yeah.
It literally is making me so emotional, because what you're sharing is on behalf of so many women that are scared to take that leap, and they're scared to be in their greatness. And it brings me to tears, because girls watching this, what you're hearing in Gemsy lives inside of you. And the difference between her and you right now, if you're sitting here knowing that you need support and that you deserve support, is that she just fucking claimed it. She was scared out of her brain. She got rejected on the first call. Not that it was meant to. It was just like, hey, we're not ready yet. We're not aligned. And then she didn't take that no for an answer. She came back, and the email knocked my socks off in Messenger. I woke up to it and I said to Anam, this is why I do the work, for people like this. And I'm getting full body chills right now. She basically told me, this is who I am. This is who I'm born. This is what I've been waiting for my whole fucking life. And I got in my way, and I will do whatever it takes. And I just sat there, and I was just like, I was lit to see it coming from her. And I was like, did she get a ghostwriter to write that? Like, this is not the same girl I spoke with yesterday. I was floored in the best way, because this is what's inside you girls right now. Is yes, there's darkness, and there is defeat and victimhood and not enoughness, but there's always two sides to a coin. And Gemma wanted to know about the fucking queen on the coin instead of just looking at her head. She goes, I want that crown. And then we got on a call, and boom, she was in, and she was off to the races, and she hasn't stopped doing the work. And it's just really inspiring. And I don't want you to sit there and be living in this world of, oh, well, it's lucky for her, she can do it, or she's got a PhD, or she's got money. No, Gemma chose to be resourceful, and she chose herself in that moment. Because I can feel it. Even some of you watching this will be like, well, I know, honestly, I can hear that conversation of, well, I just can't do that. Yeah, you can. And no one's going to fight for you unless you fight for you, the way like Gemma fought for herself. And she got herself out of that shit show, and she put herself on a new path. So Gems, if we just go then to, obviously this stuff just like lights up my soul, because you took me right back then of where you were. And it's literally night and day. And that's why I think it affected me so much, is because you're not in that space anymore.
I'm so not in that space anymore.
I know, but like it's just so like touching to see how quickly you've shifted. And that's because of your commitment. That's why you didn't just shift. Soul to Soul won't shift you if you don't show up. It won't do anything. The women that I invite in, they're ready to show up for themselves, and they commit. And that is why Gemsy is sitting in her feminine, and she's got other magic to share with you, that where she's at right now, which I can't wait to get to. But if you just share now, what was the process like for you with obviously going into the modules or anything, but like going through soul to soul, how would you describe that to your soul sisters right now in here? What's that experience like for you? What was so good about it?
Where to start? It was like somebody had just like taken me and put me in this whole new world of magic. It was magical from start to finish. I mean, the first day that I got in there, and there was, you know, everybody introducing themselves, and like it was ridiculous. Everyone was like, there was just this absolute shower of love, which was something, you know, I'd never even experienced that before, like ever in my life. And I was just like absolutely blown away. And it just, I was like, it just like lit me up. And then I was like full speed ahead, 100% committed. And I was just thirsty for like more and more, and the next thing and the next thing. I felt almost like immediately transformed. And I was flying. I mean, suddenly I didn't need to sleep anymore because I was just so lit. Like the whole, just the fact that I'd chosen myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I did still have, in the first week at least, I still had like, you know, fears and things coming up about, you know, what I'd spent. And I was just like, because, yeah, as Brits, a little less, we're definitely not, you know, the mentality to spend money on ourselves. Like it's really, really unheard of.
Yes.
You know, like that whole, like even just going for counselling, or I mean, it's becoming more popular now, but it's still not really mainstream. There's still quite a lot of prejudice around it and judgment, and you just don't spend that money on yourself. And
this is gold, because I call Gemma out and I go, you've just invested in a PhD and you're miserable, and your PhD costs a lot more than this program. So what conversation are we in right now? Do you want to change your life, yes or no? She's like, I want to change my life. Boom. And that's truly, I'm so glad you brought this up, Gems, because that's what she said is bang on. We're not taught to invest in our personal selves, in something that doesn't feel tangible. But it's so tangible, because what's the point of having a house? What's the point of having a PhD or a fancy car or any of this stuff if we're not with our heart open and able to feel and enjoy and revel in our life and revel in who we are? Like, what is the point of any of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love that you brought that up. What I heard when you shared, you know, your experience in the vortex of love, that it gets called, was the word support. That's what I heard. It was almost like when you were sharing, you're like, oh, I was up all night, and I just felt this, you felt held.
I was just wrapped in a beautiful blanket of like just so many beautiful, unique souls, and so inspiring as well. The momentum was just nuts, and just seeing other people and what was happening for them, and like being able to share that, and then getting all the support like in return. It was just like showers of it constantly, and it just like, you know, kept you going, and you were like, what's next, and it's such an indescribable thing. There's no comparison to the feeling that I had when I was in there. It was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. And just going back to the whole, you know, I was saying about the, you know, the investment, and how like that it's, you know, you would say there's nothing material per se that you get from it. And like if you said to me now, okay, you're going to spend this much amount of money on a car, or this much amount of money on this program, I mean, there's not even like an ounce of me that would, I'm not interested in cars anyways, you know, but you know, whatever it might be, I can't think like I don't know, like I can't think of something that would compare it, but anything like just something that say that's really material that I would really, really want in my life. I would choose to do soul to soul 1,000 times over.
Wow.
Every time, again and again and again, because I'm just not the same human being that I was.
You literally just you make me so emotional on this testimonial. You are sitting in a completely different energy.
Yeah.
You came in like a shut down, scared little girl who wasn't being seen. She wasn't being understood. She wasn't in her huge light. And now you are. You validate Gemsy. You know how magnificent she is. You know how deserving she is. You know how talented she is. You don't need me or anyone to tell you that. You know this. It's in you. It's in your essence.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't need that, because I don't feel, I can feel like you can, but we can all feel when someone's really needing our validation. It's not even in your energy field.
No, and it was so badly before.
It was massively there.
Massive. That was probably one of my big.
It's not there. Things. Like, of course it's nice when we hear compliments, but I'm telling you, like, you don't have that energy. It's like you had a sign on your forehead. It was like, please, tell me how good I am, or validate me, or whatever. It was just across here, like in neon lights. And now I'm like, oh no, she already knows. Which is so fucking, it's so phenomenal. So what, where are you at now, Gems, in how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about the world? And what is that magic news you want to share that's up your sleeve?
Just every day feels like magic. Like magic happens for me constantly. And it feels like all of my dreams, and my dreams are pretty big dreams, are just gonna come to me. They're already on the way, and I just have to stay in my heart and keep visioning them, and they will be here. I mean, I don't know, it's indescribable how I feel. It's indescribable. I feel just lit, literally all the time, in every area of my life as well. There's no, like, my relationship with my parents is like, oh, it makes me want to cry when I think about it, how beautiful it is now. With my mum, I did so much healing around my mum. Just both my parents, it's ridiculous. And my career is obviously going on to the next level, and I'm so excited about that, and everything's just like falling into place, like effortlessly.
It's flow, trust. That's why. That's what's different. Before you were in that fight or flight, overcompensating, leading with that achieving energy. That's not in your energy right now. When you're speaking, I don't know if you're aware of this right now, you're like just sharing with us, oh yeah, like everything's just falling into place. There's an ease about you. There's a trust about you. There's just, you're working in tandem with the universe. That's what's in your field right now.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's like, it's magnetic. I want to know more, because there's no push, there's no force, there's no making it happen. It's beautiful to witness. What else is happening in your life when it comes to love?
I remember towards the end of Salt of Soul, we have one of these, this call, and the conversation came up about the soulmate, and how I felt about that at that time. It was with Mariana, and I remember her saying, you might already know your soulmate, and for some reason that's something that's really stuck with me for a long time. And not like really, like, you're not like sort of really present, but just occasionally it comes up and I'm like, oh, I might really know my song. Oh, what about that? Anyway, since lockdown happened, I just a guy that I'd met 10 years ago, I think. And we sort of chatted on and off. We've got similar interests. We like sort of snowboarding, but we're also kind of, we just got like the similar way of thinking about the world and life and stuff. We just started chatting again, because I suppose we could resonate on what was happening in the world. Sorry, because of lockdown, I haven't need a fringe trim, and it's like falling down.
Don't talk to me about hair.
Falling down all the time. Even though I quite like it, but it's it's taking some getting used to the sweep. We just started chatting, and just really been enjoying our conversations. They're really easy and flowy, and there's been some like really pleasant surprises as well, of like just some of the things that he comes up with that just blow my mind, really. And actually, after a few weeks of it sort of getting a little bit more than just friends chatting, I sort of look back at my love mission statement and I was just like, holy shit, this is so funny, because it is literally like, yeah, they're all there. All the things are there, you know, all the things that I was asking for, sparkly and friendly and sociable and outgoing and adventurous and yeah, and like romantic and just, you know, has a view on the world. Like he's really interested in like quantum physics and things like that, which
Beautiful, very
stuff
important.
that I'm interested in, but in a really masculine way as well. Like he's really like physical, like he does a physical job, but he's also super intellectual and is super into science. So he's super bright as well as like strong and like manly and yeah.
You know, there's something I want to share here is some of you might be watching this and say, oh, I've got my list already. You know, that's nothing new, right? I know there could be a bit of like, yeah, Lucy, what's so fabulous about this? I already have a list. Gemsy, you know, in the process, without going into it, but there's no way from Gemma's energy when she came to me, if she had her list, that she would be sitting where she is right now. It doesn't work like that. For those of you that are sitting there thinking that having a list is enough, it's not. It won't do anything. It's like a vision board will not do anything if you're not doing the work to be in alignment with what it is that you want to receive. I just want to make that distinction really clear, because I don't want you girls thinking that it's just a case of writing a list. It's not. That will not change over 30 years of conditioning, and it will not change your not enoughness. It will not open your heart for you just having a list. Trust me, I waited for 10 years with my list, sitting pretty, wondering why the hell it wasn't working on my behalf. I was like, but I know exactly what I want. I wasn't being my own soulmate. Gemsy wasn't being her own soulmate. She wasn't with her heart open in her vulnerability. So I just wanted to add that to the conversation, Gems, because it's not as easy as that. Gemma was completely shut down to herself. And now she loves and adores the woman that she is. And that is why you can tell when you're watching this, she's just sitting there. She's not here to prove anything. She's just sitting in her essence, to the point where we don't even need to talk. She could just sit here and you girls can feel that she digs who she is. She doesn't need to broadcast it. She doesn't need to get a gramophone. You can just feel it right now. It's radiating from her. And she's in her feminine. She's in her sensuality. She knows who she is. That is the biggest, most palpable shift that I can see in you. And it's huge, because it was almost like when you came in, it was like wanting to pull on, you know, and this is not just Gemma, it's a lot of women. This was me, wanting to pull on mum's like coat, what is it, like in the kitchen, pulling on the dress, just kind of apron strings. That's what it's like. Yeah, just kind of like see me. And it's needy. And God, I used to be really needy in relationships, and I used to hate that I was needy. I used to,
yeah, me too. Yeah.
The worst feeling on the planet. And so that's what shifted, is you're now in your woman.
I was just wanted to say, you know, like with regards to what it is that the things I was describing in this guy, I mean, the difference is from a list is that these are the things that I felt. And before I came into Soul to Soul, I didn't know how to feel. I honestly, I thought I was this woman who was open-hearted and upfront. Actually, I was just someone who was, I wasn't speaking my truth. I was in this delusion that I was open-hearted, and of course I wasn't, because I was drawing in all these guys who were also not able to express themselves. I had no ability to express myself whatsoever. And that has been like the biggest shift for me, is learning how to feel, as I didn't know that before. I just didn't know what it was to feel. And now I love to cry, and like I hadn't cried for so long when I got that call with you, I don't think.
Yeah, that is, we're going to wrap after this. That is so pertinent that you mentioned that. I can relate to everything you just said. I used to think I was authentic. I used to think I was vulnerable. I literally was just like, oh, there's no good men left, or they just don't get me. And it wasn't. It was that I was in this illusion, like you said, this complete distortion that I was fine and I was all those things, and I was not even close. I didn't even know how to spell authentic or vulnerability, really, even though I was thinking that I did. I was like, may as well have spoken in Russian. Seriously, on those dates, I may as well have been showing up speaking Russian. I may as well have, because it wasn't me. So, wow, Gemsy, like this is just inspiring me so much, having this conversation. And I hope it's inspiring you watching this, because we can really get in the way when we're seeing ourselves through this distortion instead of actually the truth, which is, if you really are vulnerable and you really are in your self-worth, then you will have a soulmate relationship in your life. You know, it's really that simple. Now Gemma has love in her life. Now I'm married to the love of my life. But I can tell you, that's not how it was for many years for me, because I was too busy going, well, I'm already those things. I've already got this. It's just them. And that cost me good years.
Yeah, that was the clue is the guy, you know, the guy. Looking back now at the guy, it was just a reflection of me, but I was so numb and so blind, I just couldn't even see it.
Well, we attract who we are, you know. Who cares if we think we're worthy? We attract who we are. So that's why I was same as you. I was attracting in men with closed hearts too. It's not rocket science, it's the law of attraction. So it is the biggest gift you can give yourself, in my opinion, in this life, to get your heart open and to shine your light and to realize that you're your own soul. Yes, our parents bring us into the world, but we are our own soul with our own journey and our own story. And you get to choose life the way that you want it. And if it's not the way that you want it, then you're the only one that can actually change it. So, Gems, what would you like to say to your soul sisters in here that are feeling you deeply, feeling this conversation, know they need to actually step up? What would you say to her?
I would just say, this process is a gift, and choose your life, because this, honestly, going through what I've been through in Soul to Soul, my life is never going to be the same again, and it's definitely not going to be anything like what it would have been if I hadn't gone through this process. So please choose yourself. Please choose to do this for you. You're definitely worth it. Every ounce of your being is worth it, because when you get to 80 and you look back at your life, you know, you're going to be like, thank fucking God I did this work, because I'm not living in the same reality that I was living in before I started Soul to Soul, and we all deserve that, and we all have that choice. So please make the choice for you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you've got your tribe of sisters on the same path. So,
oh my God. I've got some incredible tribe that I'm going to be in my life forever, and they're all beautiful and unique and magical, and we're soaring together.
Yeah, and also we need more light warrior goddesses in the world. That's why we need you girls to step up and change, so we can fucking raise the frequency and really be in our woman instead of our little girl. So Gemsy, I'm going to stop right there, because I know my little girl wants the milk bar, but that was just so much fun. That was so great having this conversation with you. Thank you for choosing you to come and do this work, because you know, it makes me so happy knowing all the people that you're impacting now, because your light's on.
Yeah.
You know, you're impacting, as you said, you know, it's your family, you've got friends, people you don't even know yet, that will feel that things are possible just because of the way that you're showing up. Yeah,
I'm definitely seeing that happening.
Yeah, it's fucking epic. Yay! Thank you so much, darling. And yeah, I'll see you in the next celebration call.
Thank you for you. You are such a gift.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Oh, is it okay if anyone reaches out to you as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, don't bombard her and harass her, but definitely if you've got a good question for her, I'm sure she'd be happy to answer that.
I'd love to.
Thanks, Gemsy. Go hug those coral flowers. Bye, darling.
Okay, bye.